Hey Adam, tonight is a big opportunity for NKU. Their team currently sits at 2-2 on the season. However, they're yet to win a road game or a game against a D1 opponent. It's a big opportunity playing against CMU tonight because it gives them the chance to break this trend as well as build some momentum going forward the rest of the season. So with that being said, let's see what they can make happen tonight. Senior libero Alina Anderson is out for her first game this season. She injured her foot in practice earlier this week, and despite being a projected starter for today's game, has been spending her time supporting from the bench. Sophomore Hannah Langdon has been able to come in and fill her role, and the transition has been arguably seamless. That's exactly what you want from a team. When someone falls, someone else can come in and step up, fill that role, and clearly CMU is able to trust each other no matter who's out on the court with that 25-21 win last set. Del Piombo is in her first season as the head coach. However, the Bowling Green volleyball program is no stranger to her. She spent 9 seasons with the program as both the associate and assistant head coach, and one thing truly stands out about her time there. In her 9 seasons, they've only had 1 true transfer, which is crazy because if you know anything about today's day and age, the transfer portal is very common for these college athletes to enter just to see what offers might be out there. However, that's not a problem for Bowling Green. They truly have that team loyalty, and when you have a couple players stick around, it really helps the communication, the trust, and the overall fluidity of the team out on the court. We truly saw some chemistry between Bowling Green and their players in the last set, and that's going to help them have that step up in today's match. One thing that both teams have in common is that they have players who have crossed into international waters. For App State, we have Andron Injak. He's from Switzerland. Now, he redshirted last season. However, he spent his summer playing for the Swiss national team. This is similar for CMU. They have Keenan Garner. He's from Germany. He grew up on a U.S. Army base where his dad was stationed. However, he played for the German national team, helping them land a top 4 finish. He's got dual citizenship between the U.S. and Germany, but it truly didn't matter where he was. Basketball remained a constant. I think it's safe to say that both of these players bring this international perspective to these teams.
You got any German in you, Kristina?
Ich spreche Deutsch. Don't ask what it means, but it's something from German 7th grade. I don't know.
Oh.
When talking with Coach Wright, he really hammered home how much diverse leadership their team has. For example, number 16, Sophie Catalano, she's a transfer from Clemson. Number 17, Ibram Elmas, she's from Turkey. But on the other end of things, there's also plenty of veteran players who have stepped into those leadership roles this year. The new perspectives, the diverse perspectives, have really helped to bring everyone together, and we really saw that in the communication within the last set. He had a lot to say. He said, yes, it's weird playing against some of his old teammates, especially because he played 20 games from the other dugout right here at Glacier Bank Park last season, and now he's playing as a range rider. It's interesting, but there's no bad blood. He said he got to catch up with some of his old teammates, some of his old friends during batting practice earlier this week, but playing against them here in this stadium as a range rider allows him to have that extra drive to want to play well.
What else are we missing here?
Let me tell you, if you are anywhere in Mount Pleasant tonight, this is the place to be. Not only is it the classic MAC rivalry between Central and Western, but it's also the toilet paper toss. Just about 10 minutes ago, all 5,000 plus fans threw their toilet paper onto the court. It was a sight to see. There's so many other promotions going on, and Central looks to beat Western at home for the 3rd consecutive year in a row. I'm so excited. The fans are so excited. Matt and Adam, how are you guys feeling going into the night? We've mentioned how important veteran leadership is to have on both of these teams, and one important veteran for Ohio is grad student Sharif Mitchell. He is finally back and contributing on the court after his injury, and during last week's press conference, he credited a lot of his team's success to the maturity of the team. He explained that their mentality of having a faceless, nameless opponent is super important, so it doesn't matter who they're up against. They just play Ohio basketball and do things the right way, and we've seen this with their recent comeback. Let's talk the aggression we saw from Central Michigan in this first set. We saw straight power in the swings of Christina Casson, Natalia Raymond, and especially the freshman Grace Thomas. Coach Golick said their team simply has to be aggressive. They can't sit and wait for a perfect situation because volleyball is simply an imperfect sport. The aggression and risks clearly are paying off in the first set, allowing them to take the win. We've seen some pretty big personalities from both teams today, whether that be on the bench or on the court. We've heard the benches shouting defense, defense, but we've also seen lots of chatter between players on the court. We knew it going into today that Ohio has a reputation of being aggressive. However, CMU has been playing into it as well. We've seen some Yarosevicius celebrations, some comments being made between players, and both teams are just going to have to work on not letting the other team get into their head and simply play some basketball. Somewhere between going to break and enjoying some of Adam's birthday cake, I got a chance to catch up with head coach Andy Bronkema. I mentioned how good their defense has been so far in the first half and the beginning of the second. I'm getting some cake stolen from me right now. Hello, I'd like to eat this. But anyways, yeah, Grant's got not only his parents, his girlfriend, but in town, he has 2 dogs here as well. Not in the stadium, but here in Kalispell, and they have been keeping busy, to say the least. They've been going kayaking, they're planning to go to Glacier National Park, take the chairlift up to Big Mountain. So outside of the stadium, he's keeping busy. I got the chance to check in with Coach Barbie on his way out of the locker room, and he said that he credits their lead to how well they were playing defensively in the first half. However, a win doesn't come with just defense. You need a balance between your defense and offense, and that's going to come to finishing at the rim and getting those points on the board. With that, he said his main focus for the second half is keeping the energy up. We can't see them die in the second half like we've seen in their last couple games, and we need to see them ultimately secure the bag here. Yeah, speaking of that energy, you truly had the momentum in that third set. What was different tonight that allowed you guys to finish so strongly?
I don't know. That's the craziest game I've ever played in my life.
I'm just glad I missed the dunk this time.
I'm just happy. We've been having a rough go at it, and that was what we needed right there. Yeah.
Speaking of what you needed, you're about to go on the road. How is this win here going to help you guys take the momentum through your next series?
With such an intense match planned for today, it was sure to bring in some super fans. I'm here with the CMU men's club volleyball team, and they are all decked out in maroon and gold. Tell me, what fuels your fandom? You guys are here at almost every match cheering them on.
Yeah, you speak about the no quit. You guys prove time and time again that this team has grit. This team has endurance. What is it that keeps you playing all the way through 9 innings? All right, Luke. All 9 innings pitched today. Only the second time in Range Rider history for that to ever happen. What's going through your mind right now?
Man, just a good team win, put a good game plan together, and just stuck to that.
How's your arm feeling? That's a lot of throwing from the mound.
I'm good. I'm good.
You mentioned how many people were here to watch you and your team play. How does the presence of the fans here in McGurk Arena affect how you guys do out on the court?
What else is impressive? 9 strikeouts. You only allowed 1 run by Billings tonight. What was working for you on the mound? JT, a walk-off and the 7-3 comeback. Tell me, please, what's going through your mind right now?
Water was cold.
A little bit of foreshadowing there. Water was cold.